All right, everyone. So here's the city of Machu Picchu. And from what I'm told, this is the most spectacular hike, if you like to hike, that you could ever take. It has spectacular views and it is a once in a lifetime event. Although Mr. DeBro's gone twice, and I've been, like I think I said with Cusco, if you're listening to this the same day, he's actually going to come in when I get back next week or the week after and come in and do his presentation for you guys because I just don't do Cusco and Machu Picchu the same justice that he does because he's been there and he knows what it looks like, and being there and seeing it makes the art so much more important. So, but anyway, I'm going to do my screencast so you take your notes on this, and then we can add to it and ask Mr. DeBro questions when, next week. So this is in the Central Highlands in Peru, and it is, as I said before, Inca, and it dates from about 1450 to 1540 CE. It is largely made out of granite, and it's considered an architectural complex. And it's located approximately 43 miles north of Cusco, between two very steep peaks above a gorge, and that was carved by the river Urumamba. It's approximately 9,000 feet above sea level. So people have to train to hike that high. I mean, just imagine if you're hiking from 40, Cusco, you're going, thousands of feet up when you're going into Machu Picchu. This is the only Inca settlement to have survived completely intact. It was likely to have been overlooked by the Spaniards and then probably forgotten about. And so it stopped being inhabited probably in the late 16th century, then gradually abandoned and forgotten. And it wasn't until this man named Hiram Bingham, that's a weird name, Hirambingham, he was the first person to bring word of the ruins to the outside world in 1911. So, for about 300 years, this place was abandoned. There's approximately 200 buildings arranged on a series of parallel terraces on both sides of the central plaza. So the terraces I'm talking about, you could see, are the levels, and it goes into the topography of the mountain is where this is built into, and it's designed with great sensitivity to its surroundings. The access to the site is extremely difficult. It basically, this constituted just a core of a small settlement. It may have housed at most 1,000 people because of the accessibility, how hard it was to get. It's a long trek up steep gorges, and the entry was only possible from one carefully guarded checkpoint, which shows its importance for the Incas. The entire complex is designed with walls and plazas framing this stupendous views of the surrounding landscapes, and they carefully selected stones that echoed the shape of the mountains above. The location is significant because it is this magnificent site for solar and stellar observation, which many believe this may have been the function, is that it was used as an observation of the stars and the planets. Some believe that this could have been used for a royal retreat or a special temple for the elite. The reason the site was successful was due to the artesian spring at the top, artesian spring at the top, that supplied inhabitants with water year-round. And really the genius of Machu Picchu lies in terracing and partitioning of the site, which fills a saddle lying roughly east-west between two peaks. The saddle rises sharply in the south, and after a crest, there's a short, flat plain, and then slopes gently down toward the north and east. So it resembles a wave with a stable spot at its precarious top. To shore up the land and create spaces to build on, the Incan planners constructed terraces carefully, following the natural contours of the site. At the eastern end, there is a sector of terraces, probably for cultivation, with a complex with a complex network of irrigation channels. A long central plaza, gently terracing down from the east, sets the stage, and then on either side of the plaza, accessed by a complex network of streets and stairs, are the main buildings. Most are single-room dwellings. Some are clustered around courts, and most are arranged along a narrow pathway, limited by the terrace widths. They are made of finely fitted stone masonry with wedge-shaped windows and monolithic lintels, and equipped with drainage and harvesting system. The granite used is local. Thank goodness, right? The gable ends suggest there was a roof that is now gone. Because there's no evidence of adobe construction, there suggests that this site was used really only for the highly elite and ceremonial functions. The bottom left image right here is one of Machu Picchu's what's believed their primary function, and that is the astronomical observatory. This is called the Intihuatana stone, which means hitching post of the sun, and has been shown to be a precise indicator of the date of the two equinoxes and the other significant celestial periods. The Intihuatana, also called Saiwa or Sokonka stone, we'll make Mr. DeBro say that, is designed to hitch the sun at the two equinoxes, not at the solstice, which is, the summer solstice is June 21st and the winter is December 21st. It's supposed to be the autumnal and whatever the spring one is. You guys can tell me when I get back. But at midday on March 21st and September 21st, the sun stands almost directly above that pillar, casting no shadow at all. And at this precise moment, the sun, with all his might, sits upon the pillar and is for a moment tied to the rock. At these periods, the Incas held ceremonies at the stone in which they tied the sun to halt its northward movement in the sky. There's also an Intihuatana alignment with the December solstice, the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. Oh yeah, I just kind of remembered it's flipped in the southern hemisphere. So their winter solstice is in June and summer is in December. Duh. Okay. And then when the sun sinks behind the Pumasillo, or the Puma's Claw, the most sacred mountain at the western Vilcabamba range. Sorry, these words are hard. But the shrine itself is primarily equinoctial, which is happening near or at the equinox. Okay, I'm going to show you this YouTube video, see what we got. Make sure the volume's at, if it loads in time. I have a lot of windows open, sorry.
Veiled Aeropolis, the historic sanctuary of Machu Picchu.
Oops. Sorry, hold on. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's only
The
3 minutes
ruins
long.
of Machu Picchu, an Inca city built in the mid-15th century, are in the Peruvian Andes of South America. Machu Picchu is located on a mountain ridge some 2,400 meters above sea level. It's known as an aeropolis. The main part of the site covers an area of around 9 hectares. It's believed that the city had a population of more than 500 people. The stone walls were built using highly sophisticated techniques. There are also the remains of a developed water system. An American historian found this site in 1911. He took all the excavated articles with him and left the site unresearched. The items are being studied at Yale University. After closely examining the remains of 174 human skeletons, they found that there was no trace of killing or wounding. Bone damage was minor, and there were no traces of forced or hard labor. No weapons were found. It appears that these people were surrounded by great nature and lived a war-free, healthy, and peaceful existence. It's said that the city was built by Inca Yupanqui, who was the 9th Inca emperor, also known as Pachacutic.
Exactly.
Why did he choose this place, and for what purpose? The key to the mystery can be found at the stone pillar at the site's highest point. This stone is called Intihuatana, a stone connected to the sun.
That's what I said.
It was used to observe the sun's movements. This is the Temple of the Sun. It's on a mountain ridge with no obstacle to the east or to the west. The east wall has 2 windows. The sun shines straight through the left one in the morning on the winter solstice, and through the right one on the summer solstice. Machu Picchu was a place devoted to the understanding and worship of the greatest god of all, the sun god. Mountains were also considered sacred, so it made perfect sense to build a ceremonial site overlooking the mountain peaks. There are more than 200 layers of terraced fields on the southern slopes. Maize grown in these fields was also used to make liquor, which was dedicated to their god. Machu Picchu, a mysterious city in the mountains, was a sacred sanctuary of the Inca Empire.
That's a good view because it kind of shows how hidden this is within the mountains. And then, so people who they fly into Cusco and then they do like, I mean, it's a very long trip to get up there. I mean, it's like multiple days. I don't know how long Mr. DeBro said that. I mean, they think he said it was it was at least 4 days, if not more, to hike from Cusco to Machu Picchu if you did it that way. You can also take a train, which is what I would do. But anyway, so here's Machu Picchu, and as I said before, we will hopefully try to learn more about this when Mr. DeBro comes in. Okay, that's it.